Welcome, everybody, to the Pin and Predicament. This is our first predictions episode. To my left, I've got my man, Sean here. Sean, what's up?
How's it going?
And on the other screen, we got Caleb. Caleb, how's it going, man?
Going all right, man.
That's fantastic. Well, listen, we haven't quite got our punishment yet, but we are going to have a punishment for whoever loses on the website, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. We will record some of the punishment as well, so everybody can get a laugh at us. It's probably one of these two guys because the first ever champ is here. I feel like John Cena saying the champ is here, but anyway, that's beside the point. So we're going to start off at the Castle. As of recording, there are 6 matches that have been announced. Now, things could get announced tonight on SmackDown. This is recorded before SmackDown, so we don't know what else is going to be on the card. But we'll go through the 6 matches that have been confirmed and run through those, and then stay with us because after we do Clash at the Castle predictions, we're going to do all-out predictions as well for AEW. So without further ado, the first match that we're going to go through is Seth Rollins versus he's Matt Riddle. He's not
He
just
is
Riddle.
Matt Riddle. Yeah.
He got his name back. He dropped an F-bomb on TV. It's been a big week for Riddle. I could have mentioned the other stuff that's happened off TV, but we won't talk about that on this.
Let's not.
This episode. Sean, I'll start with you. Rollins versus Riddle. Who do you got?
Riddle. I think the momentum for this past couple of Raws have been building towards that. I think he needs the win more than Seth does, so that's kind of another reason I'm going that way. This could probably be his biggest solo win, at least on the upper card, upper roster since he hit WWE. I think it'll be a great match, but I think it'll be pretty intense. But I think Riddle comes out on top.
Absolutely, not a bad pick at all. Not a bad pick. Caleb, who do you have?
I got Riddle too, man. I don't know. I kind of went back and forth with this one a lot because, with everything that's going on outside with Riddle, I feel like they'll punish him for it. But at the same time, I really don't know if they will. It's not Vince running the show anymore. But, yeah, I've got Riddle. The only thing that really also has me kind of going back and forth, Seth Rollins has only won on one pay-per-view this year. They could go ahead and give him the win for that, but I really don't know. I've got Riddle because it just makes sense. Give him the babyface give him the victory, send the crowd home happy, I guess.
Yeah, see, I think this one could be the show opener to get the crowd hot. I'm going to make it 3 for 3 with you guys. There's part of me that wants to pick Rollins, and the main reason is exactly what you just said, the fact that Seth hasn't won hardly a few, one pay-per-view win all year. And this will be a nice win for him, especially if at any time they're going to start going maybe Rollins to the Universal Championship route. But I think for right now, you start the show out hot. You have these two guys that absolutely hate each other, just have a brawl. But I think in the end, it's going to be Riddle taking the win. So all 3 of us are going Matt Riddle on that one. Next, we'll go to Edge and Rey Mysterio versus the Judgment Day with Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Caleb, I'll start with you on this one. Who do you got in this one?
Oh, man, you already know I got the Judgment Day. I got Judgment Day winning this one because they've lost a whole lot. Here recently they have, except for the singles matches that they've won. But as a tag team, they really haven't won a whole lot. I know they did beat AJ and Dolph, a couple weeks ago? No, it was Monday. It was this Monday. But, yeah, it was really good match. I got Judgment Day, and I've also got Dominic finally turning heel. Finally. It just makes sense. Edge is his partner and not Dominic. And he just really just very nonchalantly just gave Rhea that kendo stick the other night. So I've got them winning and also Dominic turning heel to help Judgment Day.
I agree. Sean, who do you got in this one?
I think this is where we finally see Dominic turn in some form or fashion. He's going to help, and Judgment Day is going to bring that W in. Same kind of here. I mean, Edge and Ray, they don't need a win at all. Judgment Day, like they've at least as a tag team, they haven't won a big match yet. I think this could be a good thing to kind of elevate them. And then, like I said, if Dominic does not turn heel tonight, I'm riding. Or tomorrow.
Yeah. I agree with both of you guys. I think the heel turn's coming up. You know, Ray pushing Dominic to the side for Edge. The way that Dominic's interacted with Daddy Rhea the past couple of Poppy Rhea the past few weeks. I just think it's time to turn. I think he needs it because Dominic's been so bland and stale as a face since he started the main roster. When he first started, he had his first match and it was pretty nice. Like, oh, cool, this is Ray's son. He's pretty solid, but no kind of character. I think a good way to get him a character. You know, maybe start his heel run that propels his career. Who knows? But I also think that this is going to be the night that we see Dominic go masked. I think that after Dominic turns on Ray, we're going to see Finn Balor mask, and we're going to see a masked Dominic Mysterio.
I agree with that. I completely agree. Yeah.
I think that'll be awesome to see. So we're next to the women's trios match, which is Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky versus Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss. Sean, who you got in this one?
This one's tough because if you had asked me before Monday, it would have been Dakota Kai and Sky, or Dakota Kai, Sky, and Bayley. But now I'm thinking it might be. I think I'm gonna take Bianca, Asuka, and Alexa. I don't know really what's going on there, but I think this will. I really have no other reasons. I don't know really what they're doing. I'm just gonna go Bianca because she's the champion.
All right, not bad, not bad. Caleb, who you got in this one?
I'm going for the heels, man. I've got Bayley, Dakota, and Io winning this one. I just feel like they've put a lot of prominence on the trio coming in since SummerSlam. I feel like it's just the decision for them to make is to put them over. Especially they also lost the tag titles match and a real screwy finish there. But I just see them on TV more than any other women right now. So I think it's theirs to lose.
Absolutely. I'm with you, Caleb. I'm going with the heels in this one. More specifically, I'm going with Bayley pinning Bianca Belair, just % specifically.
Yeah.
Because I think, Kai and Sky have already established themselves as one of the premier tag teams. Even though they didn't win the tournament, they got screwed over. They got a cause to go back after the titles. We need a cause for Bayley to be the one that goes after Bianca Belair. It's a tag match, and it's non-title. So even if she does lose, she doesn't really look weak, and she can get some heat. They say, some fire under her. She can get that back easily. But I think Bayley winning, maybe even with the kind of a cheap method. But I would rather see Bayley just win straight up clean, pin Bianca. So I'm going with the heels as well. Next is a real interesting match for me. This is probably one of the ones that's the hardest for me to pick, and it's the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
Gunther and Sheamus. So I'll start with you. Who do you have in this one?
Gunther. He's gonna retain, man. Like I'm with you. Like this was the hardest one for me to pick because on one hand, like Gunther is so dominant. He's running with his championship. He's proud to be the IC champ. But then they're in Wales. They're in the UK. Like everybody would pop so big if Sheamus won that title, especially off Gunther. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I don't know. I don't see him taking it off of him right now. I think he's going to run with the title for a long time, at least for a little while, probably Mania, and then he'll drop it and then probably go into the main title picture.
Would not hate to see that at all. Sean, who you got?
So again, I'm like you guys. This was probably the toughest one. But for a couple of reasons, I'm actually going to take Sheamus. One counting that hometown pop. The other thing is, you guys probably know this, the IC title is the only belt Sheamus has not won in WWE.
Yeah.
So I think this could be a moment where he gets that last belt, and then now you can say he's done everything WWE. And I think Gunther could possibly go into other stuff already, kind of like Caleb had mentioned. But yeah, I think it's prime for Sheamus to get a win here.
Not a bad pick at all. So this is going to be kind of a theme of my predictions because I'm going to get one of these heel turn right. To get one right. But I see the return of Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
Costs the match, and Gunther retains the championship. I think that we're going to see Butch kind of be fed up with what he's been given and show that he's not who he's been acting like. He is Pete Dunne. He's not Butch. And I think he's going to prove that to Sheamus. And we're going to break off and have a Sheamus and Pete Dunne feud, which who wouldn't love to see that? We're going to have them feud, and we're going to have Gunther go on and continue to be a great Intercontinental Champion and have some great feuds. Caleb, I'm kind of like you. I think WrestleMania somewhere down the line around there would be a great time for him to drop it and then move on to the main event scene. But I just think Gunther's going to get it done. So this is my first few heel turns or face turns for the night. But yeah, I'm going to go with Gunther in this one. So next we'll go to the SmackDown Women's Championship between Liv Morgan and Shayna Baszler. Sean, who do you got in this one?
Shayna Baszler.
Straightforward.
This is pretty obvious.
Straightforward.
Shayna Baszler's going to win this one.
Shayna Baszler. Caleb, who do you got?
I got to disagree, man. I got Liv retaining. I wouldn't be surprised if Shayna came in, broke her arm over with, squash match just a few minutes. It would not surprise me at all to see that happen. But I think with Liv being as over as she is, I think it's a good place for her to get a good win over someone who is a credible fighter like Ronda was. So for that reason, I'm going Liv.
Liv Morgan. So that's where I'm going, Caleb. But I'm going to throw a little fuel on the fire with Liv Morgan. So we haven't made any kind of fantasy bookings or anything for this pay-per-view we were going to, and life happened.
Yeah.
But what I think is going to happen, this is going to fuel even more fire to the flame for Liv Morgan. I think that we see a near repeat of what happened with Kairi Sane and Shayna.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Morgan, what's going to happen, Liv Morgan's going to be in the cure for you to clutch. She's going to roll out of it where she's got Shayna's arms or shoulders pinned to the mat. 1, 2, Liv taps out again.
Yeah.
But instead of seeing the tap, the referee sees the pinfall. Liv Morgan retains, and down the line we'll get a triple threat match between Shayna, Ronda, and Liv.
Yeah. That would be perfect, right? Yeah. Man, that would be so good. What nobody knows, because we didn't make those fantasy booking videos for Clash at the Castle, my literal thing, I have it wrote down in my notes, all I was going to say was Liv gets squashed in 2 minutes, and that's it. Because if I were to book it, that's how I would do it. I would straight up have Shayna come in, end it, go on about her business. But I just don't see them doing that. They're in the UK. They're going to want more of the baby faces to win, I would assume anyway. So that's the reason I've got Liv picked. Otherwise, I certainly would have picked Shayna.
So you really are picking a bunch of heel turns tonight, because that will make Liv Morgan a heel.
Yeah, I don't think it necessarily turns her. He keeps on with this.
Man,
baby face that gets booed out of the arena. She is going to get booed, and I hate it because Liv is so lovable. But I don't see any way that you can save this, because if you have Liv win just outright win, it makes Shayna Baszler look like dog crap. So I'm going with. Now, I don't get any extra points if I get these predictions correct, but I'm going to go with Liv Morgan to be the winner. So now we'll move on to Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. And yes, I have another projection for this one. But Caleb, we'll give you the start on this one. Who you got, Roman Reigns or Drew McIntyre?
I got the hometown boy. I got Drew. I say hometown. He's not even from Wales, but He's home to the UK, so I guess. But yeah, I've got him getting the win for that reason alone. Like they're gonna want that. They should want him to get that win for that anyway. Plus, if Roman, he's taking a lighter schedule, he can definitely go home, rest up, come back after the first of the year. Then he can have his program with Rock if that's what they're going to do, But apparently USA Network has been real adamant about getting one of the titles off of Roman so they could have someone on Raw that, a world champion. I think this is the thing. Plus, it makes that feud between Drew and Karrion Kross actually mean something instead of just a throwaway feud. Because right now, there's really no reason for them to fight other than he thinks he's the chosen one. That's pretty much all they've given us. So I think they put the titles on Drew, or at least one of them. They put the title on him, and in that way, his and Karrion's feud has some kind of something to it.
Yeah, that's not a bad prediction at all. Sean, who do you got in this one?
So I'm with Caleb. I don't know, but I feel like Roman's still going to come. I feel like he's still going to keep one of the belts. I think tonight we probably to get something on Raw with the 2-year anniversary, or on SmackDown with the 2-year anniversary that maybe gives us a clear definition. But I'm like you, they got to get a belt back on Raw eventually. I think you could see Drew winning at least one of the titles, taking it to keeping it on SmackDown, and then Raw jumping ship. Or Roman jumping ship to Raw. But I do think Drew wins the match.
Yeah, we're going to make it 3 for 3, boys. I'm going Drew McIntyre. So this was my other fantasy booking that I did for Clash at the Castle. Of course, Sami Zayn's getting involved. I don't think there's any doubt that he's going to get involved in some way. So I'm going to go back to this past Monday night with Jimmy and Jey Uso, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. During the matches, you guys remember, KO was laying battered on the ropes. They told Sami to get a chair and hit KO with it. And Sami was very reluctant, very hesitant, didn't do it, and it ended up costing Jey the match. Well, I think that Sami's going to run out to the ring this time with the chair in hand after a ref bump. And we're going to see Sami Zayn swing for Drew McIntyre. Drew ducks and hits Roman. Sami's standing there like, oh, my God, I can't believe I just did that. And he eats a Claymore. Or no, not a Claymore. He's going to eat a future shock DDT to the chair. Knocks him out. Drew gets up. Claymore's Roman. 1, 2, 3. We got a new champion in Cardiff Wells. So I think we're all going Drew. But I think I'm with you guys that regardless of how it happens, there needs to be a champion on Raw instead of Roman showing up once every 3 months to Raw. There needs to be a champion that's there every week. Like you said, Caleb, it kind of gives some fire to that Karrion Kross feud with Drew McIntyre. So I think that this is a good time and place. For the longest time, I thought Cody Rhodes should have been the guy to take the belt off, but at this point, I think it might be time to get those belts off of Roman, or at least one of them, and move on with Drew and Karrion Kross feuding over the belt. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. So that is the end of our Clash at the Castle predictions. Now, again, there could be matches made tonight. It's SmackDown, so who knows? There could be a feud that gets a match announced for tonight, or maybe a pre-show match somewhere on the card. But now we're going to go to AEW's card for All Out. It's stacked. It's going to be a 5-hour show. There's like 3 matches on 0 hour, and then like 11, I think, maybe something like that on the main card. It's, my God, Tony Khan. Can you split these up into 2 nights if you're going to do it like this?
Yeah, right. God.
My Lord. But it's going to be a great show. I can't wait to see it. Originally, we had decided not to do the pre-show, but, man, when you had Kingston and Ishii on there,
right. Oh,
So we're going to go ahead and add, if it's okay with you guys, we'll do the
Oh, I've already
pre-show.
got mine wrote down. Yeah,
So Caleb is ready to rock and roll, baby.
I am.
Caleb,
I
I'm gonna
am.
start you with the very first match that we're going to go over, because I know it's one that's near and dear to your heart.
Oh, yes, it is.
For the All Atlantic Championship. Caleb, who you got in this one?
Oh, I got Kip. I got Kip winning, man. I love that dude. He is so good. Like, the underrated gimmick that he's got is not a lie. Like, if you go look at any of the matches he's ever done, solid. He has charisma that people don't even know about. He's solid on the microphone. Put the title on him now. Let him run all over the UK. Let him run all over AEW and the independents. Like, Sabian's got to do it. Plus, I mean, he's been out for a year and a half. Let him go, man. Just let him go.
Absolutely. So you got Kip Sabian. Sean, I'm going to go to you. Who do you got in this one, Pac or Kip Sabian?
I think I still go with Pac. I wouldn't mind. I would like seeing Kip Sabian win it, but I just think Pac really hasn't gotten any run with AEW. I know he did a whole bunch of stuff in Europe and stuff with it. He hasn't got to do much on AEW with it, though. But I don't think his run comes quite to an end yet. I think this could be the building of Kip eventually taking it. I think it's tomorrow.
Not a bad choice either. So I've been kind of torn on this one because in one sense I feel like Pac still just kind of got the belt.
Yeah.
He hasn't had it that long. Hasn't had a lot of title defenses like on AEW programming. I know he's taken it to some questions and done some stuff there where this feud with Kip Sabian kind of started in the first place. But I just feel like it's a better story for Kip to maybe win in like some dastardly way and have Pac try to chase him for it. I always feel like it's better for the babyface to chase the heel than the other way around. Yeah. So in this, I'm going to go with Kip Sabian becoming your new All Atlantic champion at All Out. So that's match number one. The second one, which somebody may die in this match, I don't know, is Eddie Kingston versus Tomohiro Ishii. Two of the hardest dudes in wrestling, and like when they hit you, you know somebody's gotten hit. They turn red. Some chest is going to look like ground beef. It's going to be nasty, but it's going to be. I can't wait to watch it. Sean, who do you got in this one?
So I think I'm going to go. How do you say it again? Tomohiro. I always mess it up. Tomohiro, mostly because, I mean, one, I think he could win either way. But I do think Kingston's going to get a little punishment for the last month or so, kind of how he's acted. I think this is why they kind of maybe threw it on the pre-show as well. So I do, like you guys, I think it's going to be a mean 5 to 10 minute match. But I do think Tomohiro takes it out.
Tomohiro Ishii on him. Caleb, who are you going with on this one?
I'm going Eddie, man. They wrestled in Japan a while back. It hadn't been too long ago. But Ishii got the win there. So I'm going with Kingston. The only thing about the backstage heat that him and Sammy had, Kingston's on the card and Sammy's not. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. Like, you would think that it would be the other way around. You'd think Sammy would be on the card. But I always pick Kingston. Like, even when I know he's gonna lose, I still pick Eddie. I love him so much, so I'm picking Eddie on this one.
So this is another one I was torn on, but I think this is going to be the last show that we see on the pre-show card, and I think babyface win to kind of go into the show with some excitement. Maybe give people a reason to buy the show. I think if you see an awesome win by Eddie Kingston, it gets you excited for the pay-per-view. So I'm going to go with Eddie Kingston on this one, but seeing Ishii win would not surprise me at all.
No.
But without a doubt, it's going to be the stiffest match of the night, the entire night.
Yeah, indeed. It really will be.
Safe and healthy after the match because I don't want any injuries. But I'm going to go with Eddie Kingston on this one. And now we'll go to our last show on 0 Hour. It's going to be Hook versus Angelo Parker. Caleb, who you got in this one?
I got Hook. I don't really have to say a whole lot. He's going to squash him pretty fast, I think. Yeah, that's it.
Caleb, are you in agreement there?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty quick match. I think Hook wins this one. This will probably be the middle match, just something quick to get it out of the way, to give Hook some pre-show hype. So yeah, I'm with Caleb.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you guys more. I'm with you. I don't have a lot to add to it. Hook's on a tear. He hasn't really been challenged much. And as much as I love Cool Hand Ange and Daddy Magic, Matt Menard, I don't see Angelo Parker winning this one. I got Hook retaining the FTW championship. So we'll move on to the main card, and we'll start with Bryan Danielson versus Chris Jericho, which is a nice little build that they've only built for just a few weeks, but with the Daniel Garcia stuff intertwined in there, it's been really interesting to see, kind of where they go. Sean, where are you going to go on this one, Bryan Danielson or Chris Jericho?
So I think it's going to be Danielson winning. I think it's going to be caused by Garcia distraction in the wrong way. I think Jericho's going to try some chicanery. Garcia's going to try to stop him like, hey, you can win the right way. You don't have to cheat, Jericho. You're the Lionheart. And he's going to turn around to double high knees and take a submission. So I got Danielson winning.
Danielson, okay. Caleb, who do you got in this one?
Same. I've got Danielson winning. Probably the same way. He Jericho tries something sideways, and Garcia comes out and storm happen, and then Danielson takes advantage of it. So yeah.
Yep, I agree with you guys. I think Garcia is going to get involved in the match in some way, but I think ultimately Danielson comes out on top. A lot of people think that Garcia is going to join Blackpool Combat Club. I don't. I think he's just going to kind of go off and do his own thing because he doesn't need Jericho. He doesn't need Danielson. He's just going to kind of go out and do his own thing, which I'd be okay with. The dude's a heck of a performer.
Agreed.
Go ahead.
So I don't think he joins either, but I do think this will start a feud with Jericho at least. Like I said, I think this will turn into something with a main event guy. So I do think, like I said, I think he still kind of does his own thing. Maybe later on takes it with Danielson some, but I'm in agreement.
Absolutely.
I don't know, man. I think that he may join, but it won't be this weekend. I think it may be Wednesday after that pure title match with Wheeler. I think something happens there, and they kind of join forces there. But I don't know. We'll see.
That is going to be a great match.
Yeah, it is.
Can't wait to watch it. Next, we'll move on to one of a few trios matches on the card. We're going to go to the TNT champion Wardlow and FTR taking on Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns. And just real quick, if you guys haven't seen the Motor City Machine Guns, they are fantastic.
Yeah, they are.
Your mid to late 2000s, your early 2010s, those guys were freaking phenomenal. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see them in the ring with FTR and Wardlow and Jay Lethal. Can't wait to see it. Caleb, who do you got in this one?
I got FTR and Wardlow, man. I don't see how they could have all that gold and lose a match, even if it is MCMG. Like, they're great. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love Motor City Machine Guns. They're awesome. But I just don't see how there's 7 titles in 3 people right there. You know what I mean? Like, They really have to pull that win out, I think.
I agree. Sean, who do you got in this one?
Same boat. I think it'll be a great match. I think it'll, kind of give you that kind of excitement match in the middle, but I think at the end of the day, FTR and Wardlow's going to bring that one out.
I agree as well. I think it's going to be Wardlow and FTR. And it's kind of weird because Motor City Machine Guns are so good as baby faces, and they're teaming with Jay Lethal. We might see Lethal try to get the Machine Guns to do some kind of like heelish tactic, and they're like, nah, Chief, we ain't doing all that. And FTR and Wardlow take advantage. May get a feel-good babyface moment at the end with all 5 men standing, their hands high. But it's going to be a great match to watch. I've got FTR and Wardlow in this one. Next, we're going to go to one. We're going to go to Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks, which is going to be a really fun match. I think these 2 guys are main eventers, no matter what company they perform for in the future. I just think they've got it. Sean, who do you got in this one?
This was a tough one, but I still think Starks is going to pull it out. But I could easily see Hobbs winning it as well. Honestly, I don't know. It's just a toss-up for me. I don't really have a reason why Ricky should win over a Powerhouse. It's more of just I like Ricky, so I'd like to see Ricky get the win. It's really my main reason, so I'm going to say Ricky starts in this one.
All right, who you got in this one?
I got Ricky too. I think I've said before, like, Ricky is the next Dwayne Johnson, at least in ring. I don't know if he'll go out to Hollywood and have all the success that Dwayne's had, but this kid's money. Like, he's solid. So I think it would be a good win for him after all the stuff that's going on between the factory and with Hobbs turning on him. I think it's just a feel-good win. So I've got Starks in this one.
All right. Well, I guess I'm going to be the one that's the oddball here. I'm going with Hobbs. So my reasoning for this is I feel like Powerhouse could use this more so than Ricky because the fans are so behind Ricky Starks. If you have him lose here, build up a little bit more sympathy, come back to this match maybe down the line, and have Ricky eventually get his win over Powerhouse. But I think for right now, Powerhouse would benefit a little bit more from it than Ricky. Ricky is money on the mic. He's money in the ring. People love Ricky Starks. He was one of those great organic babyface turns. Mm-hmm. So I feel like Powerhouse getting a big dominant heel win here would really kind of solidify him as one of those big heel monsters in AEW. That would be a legitimate threat to Wardlow or maybe Punk, Moxley up in the upper card. So, we'll have to wait and see, but I'm going to go with Powerhouse on this one, and I may be in the minority with that projection, but it is what it is. We're going to go to the AEW TBS Women's Championship, and guys, I hate to say this, I like both women. I could not care any less about this match. The support has not been great. No. My hope for this match originally was that it was going to be Chris Statlander and Jade Cargill before Chris got hurt, and that's where we would see Statlander finally dethrone Jade, but unfortunately it's not working out that way. Sean, who have you got in this one?
I still hope we get the dethrone. I'm going to hope Athena, but I'm going to go with Athena because I think that may have been the plan all along. I'm with you. I think Statlander was the projected winner beforehand. I think maybe and only because it's a legit injury for something that maybe by the next pay-per-view she go again, but it seems like she's going to be out for a while. So I got Athena, hopefully still dethroning Jade Cargill.
Athena. Caleb, who have you got?
Okay, so when Athena debuted, was it not during the TBS title match at the pay-per-view?
Yes.
Okay. I said to Matthew Shepard, because we watched Double or Nothing together, and I said that's who dethrones Jade Cargill for the title, is Athena. So I've said it since she debuted. I'm going to stick with my guns here, and I'm saying Athena.
Athena. Looks like we're going to be disagreeing again, boys. I believe that Jade Cargill is going to retain. Now, maybe you could eventually build this feud up a little bit more and eventually have Athena take the title. I wouldn't mind that because Athena is amazing in the ring. She's a fantastic worker. Jade's gotten a lot better, and her character is money. No pun intended there with all the green stuff, but she's great. She's just wonderful. And I think that these two could put on a really good match, but the build for the feud hasn't really been my favorite, even though it's kind of been a little bit of longish storytelling. Like you said, last pay-per-view. Was it the last pay-per-view?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
She debuted, and it was in the match with Jade for the TBS title, but I don't see it being yet. I think they're going to build up to a bigger moment for Jade to drop the belt, and I just don't see that being here. So I'm going to go with Jade Cargill retaining the TBS Women's Championship. Next, we'll go to another trios match. It's going to be the House of Black versus Miro, Sting, and Darby Allin. Caleb, who you got in this one?
Okay, so this was one where I was really back and forth because as of yesterday, all those reports were coming out about Malachi Black asking for his release. And I feel like if he seriously asks for his release, if he's unhappy, but Tony wants to keep him around, he's going to give the House of Black the win here. But Sting, hasn't lost at all. Like, no matter what match it's been in, if Sting's been a part of it, they've won. We've talked about before with Darby Allin. It always seems like he always wins his feuds. I think it keeps going here. So I'm going with Miro, Sting, and Darby Allin. I'm also going to say C.J. Perry debuts.
Oh, that would be interesting.
I think that Julia Hart tries to do something, and C.J. Perry comes out of left field and clocks her real good.
That would be fun to see. That would be really fun to see. You make a good point on that. Sean, who have you got this one?
Well, I would like to say I was back and forth, but Darby Allin loses, so it's going to be Darby Allin, Sting, and Miro winning. I would like to see House of Black get the win here, but it just seems like every pay-per-view, Darby, Sting, and whoever they get paired with seems to have like a big moment win. I think that continues, unfortunately. I would prefer House of Black, but I think Darby and then pull it out.
Gonna disagree again, boys.
Oh, man.
I'm going with the House of Black in this one, just simply because I think that they need a win. Like, they absolutely have to have a win. I think if you have to lose with the trios belts being a thing now, they just lose so much credibility as a team that win those belts. I don't see Sting, Darby Allin, and Miro teaming together for a long time to go eventually win these belts. So I'm going to put my bet, and I'm probably going to be wrong on this one because Darby Allin is like never loses a feud unless it's MJF, which but anyway, I'm going to go with the House of Black in this one. I think, they pull out the win some way. It could be dirty, whatever. I don't care. I just need Malachi Black to get a pinfall win for the love of God.
Tony Khan. Who do you think he pins?
Well, that's the toughest. Sting's probably not hitting the pinfall.
No, not at all.
In a place like Chicago, that die-hard wrestling fans, they don't want to see him get pinned.
No.
Malachi Black. I could see Darby taking it, but then you got Miro. Guys, I'm probably wrong on this one. I'm probably wrong, but I'm sticking to my guns. House of Black, somehow, some way. I'll take it. Sting heel turn. Just kidding.
Whoa.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
He comes back with a Joker face paint from TNA.
Oh my God. He takes off the regular Sting mask to reveal the Joker face paint.
Yeah.
That'll be great. Next, we're going to go to the casino ladder match. Right now, we have Wheeler Yuta, Claudio Castagnoli, Ray Phoenix, Penta, and Dante Martin, and TBA in this match. So we'll get two predictions here. Sean, I'm going to start with you. Who is going to be the mystery man? Who's going to win it?
I want to say MJF, but I just feel like it's too easy. I feel like that's just too easy. But I don't know who else could debut. I'll say, I'll go off the rails. I'm gonna say Morrison. Or what was it? Morrissey, excuse me. I think that there's a reason they had him come out and dominate the other night. So I'm gonna say maybe Morrissey goes in because I think MJF's gonna do some stuff later on. And if that's the case, I'm gonna be wrong on this one so bad. Just throw Andrade because why not?
Why not? Andrade, why not? I freaking love that pick.
Everybody else that I would want to pick probably has a belt already. So yeah, we'll go Andrade. I'm 100% wrong. 1,000.
That's good. It's a good pick though. Not a bad pick at all. Caleb, who you got in this one?
Okay, so I do have MJF as the mystery guy. The only thing is somebody I was watching something earlier today. I think it was Sean Ross Sapp. He was like, he doesn't really fit in. Look at all, you've got a bunch of luchadors, a bunch of high flyers, Dante, Ray,
Claudio.
So he doesn't necessarily fit the mold that they've got there, but neither does Claudio. Claudio is not a high flyer. He's a technical wrestler. So MJF could certainly be in there. But I do have MJF just because I think that he is about to go on a tear when he comes back. Regardless of who's champion, he's about to I think he will take the belt and become the longest reigning. He'll pass Kenny and everything. But as far as overall winner, I'm going with Claudio just because I'm not real sure if MJF is actually the mystery guy.
Not a bad pick. Hey,
But I mean, also, like, plus, I mean, like, regardless of whoever wins, that match with Claudio Castagnoli would be fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Punk or Moxley, man, you're going to get your money's worth when that match happens.
Yeah, it would be a great match. Claudio's amazing in the ring, so that's not a bad prediction at all. Because I'm sticking to my guns of my fantasy booking, Deadgummit, which you can check that out now. It's on the channel, so go ahead and give it a look. Cheap plug while I'm at it. I'm going MJF is going to be the guy, and MJF is going to win it. So we'll move on to the next match, which is a very heated grudge match that lost a lot of steam over time. Christian Cage versus Perry. Not Jungle Boy. He's going to be Jack Perry this weekend, and for the love of God, I hope he keeps it to be Jack Perry.
That's what I'm thinking. That's exactly what I'm thinking, yeah.
Jungle Boy, the name, the moniker, got to go. It was cool when you were 20, not anymore. Caleb, I'll start with you on this one. Who do you got for Jungle Boy?
I got Jack, man. I think that the way that he's been ran down, like all the stuff that Christian has said about his family and everything, if you give Christian the win here, man, that's I'm sorry, but that's bad booking on my part. Like, in my opinion, I think that's terrible. Plus, we're getting Jack Perry. You're not getting Jungle Boy. And I think Jungle Boy, the gimmick, is dead. I think this is the introduction to the new character of Jack Perry. Again, somebody, I want to say it was Sean Ross Sapp I watched earlier today, was talking about if you got somebody on the red carpet, you going to have Jungle Boy or you going to have Luke Perry's son, Jack Perry, there?
Yeah.
So I'm going with Jungle Jack on this one.
Good old JR will be proud.
Yeah.
Jungle Jack. Sean, who you got? You got Christian Cage or Jack?
If they hadn't have made the reference Wednesday, I was actually going to go Christian. But with kind of like Caleb said, with that to Jack Perry, I'm with you. I think now that was putting the rocket straps to the back, and they're about to try to blast off with him. So yeah, I think at this point now it's going to be old Jack Perry.
One thing that I hope Tony Khan has learned this week, because in my opinion, the best that Jack Perry, Jungle Boy, whatever, has looked this entire feud was this past week, and it was during a pre-tape segment. I think he needs to do more pre-tape segments for promos instead of a live mic, because his live mic promos were not very good, in my opinion. It made this feud lose a lot of its fire. But I thought this last week he was really good, and Christian has been phenomenal in this heel role. He's been just an absolute dick. It's been great. Great work from Christian Cage. I'm going to go with Jack Perry, but there's part of me that wonders if Luchasaurus gets involved and screws Jack out of a win.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I think would give Christian a win, and it makes some sort of sense because as much as Luchasaurus has been around Christian and had a chance to put his hands on Christian, he hasn't.
Right.
He hasn't put his hands on him one time. So it kind of makes me think, is there a possibility that they're still working together? But I've already got Powerhouse Hobbs beating Ricky Starks, so I need one of the three faces to give a heel some comeuppance.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Jack Perry in this situation.
I did want to take that was going to be my thing with Christian winning, was Luchasaurus turning on Jungle Boy, maybe that getting rid of the Jungle Boy thing. But then they went ahead and got rid of Jungle Boy, so yeah, I think beforehand that was going to be my pick, but I agree now.
All right, we'll go into our next match. Do you want to?
Scissor me, daddy.
We're going to go with the Acclaimed versus Swerve and Our Glory for the AEW World Tag Team Championship match. Another match that wasn't like just the best way, but I think it's going to be a fun match. Sean, who you got in this one?
If it would have been built, I would have pulled the trigger instead of Acclaimed, because they have so much behind them right now, so much fanfare. But it just being thrown together, that doesn't seem like Tony Khan to just, well, we say that, but then we saw Swerve in Our Glory one out of nowhere. So I guess to be fair, he could pull up. But I still think Swerve in Our Glory wins. Again, I think if it got a little more story time, I think we might have saw him pull the trigger. But I don't think it claimed to get it this pay-per-view here in the next couple of months, probably, though.
All right. Caleb, who you got in this one?
Same. I've got Swerve in Our Glory. And for the same reason, they haven't built it up at all. They just kind of, hey, thanks for helping us out. We want to challenge you, and that's it. But that was all the build they have. It was. I don't understand why they done it, other than just to get the tag titles on there. But I mean, you've had weeks and 1,000 tag teams. You could have done all kinds of build for this, But I don't see Swerve in Our Glory dropping the titles just yet. I think they hold them for a little while. So,
listen. Don't shoot on for the Acclaimed. I think that you have to strike while the fire is hot with the Acclaimed. They are over. They might be the most tag team minus FTR right now. And it's obvious that AEW has no plans for FTR to be anywhere near the AEW tag team title shot, which is a conversation in its own right.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Swerve turn on Keith Lee in this match. That's going to happen at some point.
Yeah.
So I could see that happening here. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to. But I'm going with the Acclaimed. I think just to get a feel-good win. I don't necessarily think it's going to be the longest tag title run of all time. But I think while they're over like they are right now, merch is selling out the wazoo. Go ahead and put the titles on them and let them have the best possible run with it that they can have. And I'm going to be so like y'all know the Freezing Cold Takes Twitter account.
Yeah.
Y'all just go ahead and every prediction that I've made, just go ahead and put me on it because I'm an absolute idiot this weekend. That's okay. Who cares?
Right.
So next we're going to go to the Fatal 4-Way women's match for the interim AEW Women's Championship. With Toni Storm, Hikaru Shida, Britt Baker, and Jamie Hayter in this one. Caleb, who do you have in this Fatal 4-Way match?
I'm going Toni. I think that, she was supposed to win the original match with Thunder Rosa. I think they still do it anyway. I think she's probably one of the more over women right now in order to do that. So I think that's who they're going to go with. I don't think they're going to go with Britt just because she's already done her thing. I feel like they're about to have that falling out with Jamie Hayter. And I'm not real sure that they put it on Shida either. So I just feel like it's time. Put it on her now.
Absolutely. Sean, who do you got in this one?
Yeah, I ended up agreeing. I was torn between Toni and Britt because I'm like you. I think a Hayter and Britt split is coming, and I think it stems off this match. No offense to Shida, but I feel like she just kind of like, hey, Shida, you want to be in a Fatal 4-Way? And just kind of threw in there because she's a bomb-ass wrestler. She doesn't really tie in very well to anything. I think it's Toni time, though. I think Toni wins it.
Absolutely agree with both of you guys. I think Shida's in there pretty much to take the pinfall. Maybe, who knows, but I kind of feel like that. I think it's Toni time, and it's like the Thunder Rosa thing happens where there was a plan and something happened and plans changed. The ultimate outcome has been the same regardless of Tony Khan. So I feel like Toni Storm is going to win this one. Next, we'll go to the penultimate match on the lineup card, which is the Elite versus the Dark Order or Best Friends. Probably going to be the Dark Order. But we don't know. Rampage is tonight. It's live Rampage, so we could look like idiots. But Caleb, who you got in this one?
Got the Elite, man. I think there's no other way I think there's nobody to put it on them, even with Hangman teaming with the Dark Order, whether it's them or Best Friends. I think the Elite have to be the first trios champions, I don't see it going any other way.
Absolutely. Sean, who you got in this one?
Well, I actually see it. I'm probably gonna be the one that says this. I think I do not. I think they're setting you up for failure with this. I think everybody thinks Paige is gonna turn. Paige is gonna turn. I think he has a moment where it looks like it, but then he means what he says. Another moment. Dark Order needs a moment. The Elite don't need this. And we've seen several times where the Elite will take that L, for the better of the company, for the better of people in there. So I could definitely, you get hey man, just kind of like, oh, what do I do? And he hits him, and I got Order in long story short though.
Yeah. Couldn't agree with Caleb more. The Elite. Need I say less? It's the Elite. They're going to beat the Dark Order. I'm sticking with my guns again. My prediction. Go check it out. It's going to happen. I've been saying that for how long have I been predicting that? It's been months. It's been months.
Been a while.
The Hangman heel turn. And it looks like the fruits of my fantasy booking labor may be coming true.
Tony's got you all.
So, if not, Tony, you suck. With the Elite, Kenny, Matt, Nick, and plus the other thing, they waited on Kenny to come back to have this tournament in the first place. I just feel like they need to win it. And, the Elite is heel trio champions.
I haven't seen heel, though. That's the thing. They seem so face.
But they have Don Callis in their corner.
Not really.
That's all I'm gonna remind you of. Don Callis
he's really
in their corner.
Man, if you've never seen, if you, Chase, end up completely right, Hangman turns heel, joins them. For anybody who hasn't seen heel Hangman in Japan, oh my God. The promos that he shot about dragging their balls all over Hiroshima, man, that cracked me up so much. Like, he doesn't care. Like, people, like, he's been their babyface in AEW since day one. Those that have never seen a heel Hangman, oh man, you're missing out. You need to go check this. It is chef's kiss. It's mint. It is mint.
Couldn't agree more. So hopefully we're about to get it. That's my prediction, my hope. And really, I just want the Elite to win, so I'm right. But if my heel thing, if it all happens, then
join the Dark Order.
So anyway, which is going to be Jon Moxley taking on the hometown hero, CM Punk. John, I'm going to start with you on this one. Who you got?
Moxley wins in DQ because somebody's going to break it up. So
a DQ.
I think, and it's not him doing anything. I think I got MJF ruining the match by picking one of them, if not both of them. I got Moxley retaining because of a DQ.
Woo! Woo!
Wow.
Jeez. Old pick, but we'll take it. Caleb?
It's Chicago.
I got Punk winning, but I also have him turning heel in the process.
Oh.
I think some nefarious means is gonna be the reason why he wins. Probably he realizes he can't beat him, kicks him in the nuts, and that's it. Could be MJF handing him the ring and then walking out. There's 1,000 different things that could happen here in this match, but I'm going with Punk.
I'm going with Punk as well. And I'm going with Punk. And Moxley hits a Death Rider very early and gets that near fall that makes like half the crowd have a heart attack. Like, oh my God, he's about. Punk valiantly kicks out. I think Punk retains the babyface persona. I think he is. Because, fellas, we're just going to take a little history class here. One of the most popular CM Punk matches of all time happened against one of his biggest rivals, John Cena. Money in the Bank 2011. Sean, where was that show at?
I think
Chicago.
Caleb, Chicago, yes.
Yeah.
And it was, what name of the show?
Money in the Bank?
Money in the Bank, which is very similar to a ladder match that happens earlier in the night. With the casino poker chip that MJF is going to demand that he uses right after this match.
Oh.
Freeman,
Okay.
the AEW champion, to end the night, being booed out of the arena.
Said I
Oh,
would
man.
Not free WWE.
If you got Tony Khan's number, you need to call him. Hey, pay the man whatever he wants.
Whatever.
That's a money ending, right?
I'm just saying.
That would be so good to see. Like, it really would be. I would mark out for that. But I love MJF. I think he's one of the greatest talents in wrestling right now, especially for somebody who's only 25, 26 years old. Like, he's going to be, like, maybe he's going to be close to Ric Flair status one day. Like, I mean, look at his gimmick. Like, I wouldn't necessarily say he lives the gimmick, but, I mean, he does. Like, he is 1980 Ric Flair all over again in modern day. Like, nobody keeps kayfabe like that guy. So, I think he deserves the world. I really do.
Absolutely. Pay that man his money today. Tony, give him whatever he needs, give him whatever he wants, and put the belt on him. And I think that's, nobody has used the ladder match casino poker chip thing. Nobody's used it immediately, but they never said you couldn't cash in on the same night.
Right.
They never said. They said it's a tournament or not tournament, a championship opportunity at your choosing. You get to choose. So it demands that he gets to use it that night and wins the world title.
Right. I'm just wondering if they do use the chip, because it's not the anymore, and it isn't. Is it the casino ladder match, or is it?
It is the casino ladder match.
Okay. Well, then they may do it then. I just thought they might do a little something a little different since they've changed it from the buy-in to 0 hour. I don't know. I just thought it was just a ladder match. I didn't realize that it was a casino ladder match. But yeah, if that's it, then yeah, they will have the poker chip up there then.
So does your prediction count as Punk, or does it count as MJF?
It counts as Punk, for the record.
Yeah, it counts as Punk.
Punk and Moxley. What I said about MJF doesn't make a toss. Who cares? That's all that matters. So I'm going to go with CM Punk winning that match and becoming the AEW champion for a
whole 3 minutes.
Yes. Before he's better than you and he knows it.
Yeah.
Comes out that. So that will conclude our predictions video. Guys, it's been real and it's been fun. Again, we're going to have a punishment up shortly after this, and probably a few days after this, maybe a week, whenever we figure out what the punishment is going to be. And with some of the predictions that I've made tonight, I am not feeling good that I will get it. You'll probably see my ugly mug on the screen taking some sort of punishment.
Should we give the fans this an option? Ideas?
Yeah, if you've got an idea, shoot them to us in the comments. They can't be anything illegal or immoral, so for the love of God, out of trouble.
Don't pick shave your head, because it really only hurts one person.
Yeah, if it's shave your head, it's real hair versus hair, Caleb, you're the only one in jeopardy. But anyway, guys, we really appreciate y'all checking us out. Tell your friends about us, like and share and subscribe. Feel free to comment your predictions. Tell us we suck. Tell us we're great. We don't care. Do one of the two, maybe just a little bit. Yeah, don't hurt our feelings. But anyway, that's us for now. So we're signing off from the Penning Predicament, and we'll see you next week.